Okay, so we'll get started. I'll introduce myself first. My name is Sarah Bosha, the Director of Health Law Programs. I have with me my colleagues Jessica Broom from the Admissions Office at Georgetown University Law Center. I also have an alumni of our program, Eunice Mustafa, who's going to share her testimonial later on. Please feel free to drop any questions that you have as I go along in the Q&A. We will also have a question and answer session at the end of this presentation, so to give you an opportunity to be able to, again, type in your questions and get some responses. So I'll start off a little bit talking about the health law programs that are at Georgetown University Law Center. So we have 2 degree programs that we offer and certificates for those that want to find a specialization area. We have the LL.M in National and Global Health Law, and then the LL.M in Global Health Law and Governance. The different certificates that students like to take on in combination, particularly with the LL.M in National and Global Health Law, are Food and Drug Law, which is US-based, and US Health Law, which is, again, domestic. For those that are looking for a more international certificate to add on to their National and Global Health Law LL.M, some do take one in International Human Rights or World Trade Organization Studies. The LL.M in National and Global Health Law is a program that we hold exclusively in Washington, D.C. So you'll be based in D.C. You will come in the fall semester. You can work as an RA if you are interested in sort of having some research experience as a student. It is a very competitive process, so obviously it's not guaranteed, but that opportunity is available to our admitted students to apply to work as a research assistant for some of our O'Neill experts who focus on various areas of health law doing the substantive work of the Institute. Some students also like to apply for an externship, usually in the spring semester, to just give themselves a little bit of work experience to tag onto their health law training and give them that edge when they are applying for jobs in the job market. So in the past, we've had students that have found extern placements at the Food and Drug Law Institute or at the World Bank. It's on you, obviously, to reach out and to make the connections and to be able to find these externships, and we'll support you in any way that we can. And these are not for pay, but you get credit towards your degree completion. For the students that are looking for a more diplomacy or diplomatic approach or international governance approach to their health law training, we have the LL.M in Global Health Law and International Governance. This is a program that we offer in partnership with the Graduate Institute in Geneva. You spend your fall semester as a student of this particular program in Washington, D.C., and then in your spring semester, you move to Geneva, Switzerland. Professor Gianluca Berci, he is the director of the program in Geneva and will be your main sort of your contact and the one whose classes you take while you are there. And he's a former legal counsel for the WHO. Students who often take the LL.M in Global Health Law and International Governance in Geneva also have to take on a health law internship as a part of the degree requirements. For those who cannot take a health law internship at some of the agencies as part of your degree requirements, you can write a thesis paper, but this has to be with approval, obviously, from the director. So really, this program, the particular one in Geneva, is geared to those that are interested in diplomacy, that are interested in global health governance, that are interested in understanding how organizations such as the WHO and others work in tandem to be able to promote governance at the global level. When you graduate with a degree either in national and global health law or in the international global health law governance program, you will have an expertise and understanding at the intersection of health and law in areas such as global health governance, health and human rights, food and drug law, healthcare access and regulation. And just to be clear that the National and Global Health Law Governance Program, and as well as the LL.M and International Global Governance, they allow you to tailor your degree to the expertise you hope to develop. For those that are interested in having more US-based expertise, you can pick courses from over 40 courses that are offered for both the domestic and the global to be able to tailor your experience. For those that are international but are curious about US, health law, whether it's food and drug regulation, there are also those courses that are open to you to take. So the strength of this program really is that you come in with a wide array of courses to choose from, and you're able to tailor your experience and your expertise either based on where you hope to see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years career-wise, or the experience you hope to build for promotion or advancement in your current role. We are always evolving our curriculum. We're always trying to keep up with the different things that are happening around the world. And so we always introduce new courses every so often. Some of the new courses that we've introduced to respond to the changing landscape of global health law are decolonization, global health, and the law. Many of you will have heard about this push for decolonization that is particularly sprung out of the global health law movement. There's global health security and the law. Pandemic preparedness made us realize how tackling global health emergencies has a securitization aspect to it, and the importance of students that graduate from Georgetown having that expertise and knowledge to be able to understand and operate seamlessly in those spaces and environments. And then, of course, preventing, detecting, and responding to global health threats is another one of those courses. So some of the academic requirements that I'll go over. For the national and global health law requirements, foreign trained lawyers, if you're an international student, you need 20 credits to complete the program. Of those 20 credits, 14 must be health law specialization credits. So that means that you need to pick health law courses or courses that are tagged health law specialization. There is a little bit of room for you to take courses of interest that are not necessarily within the health law specialization, but are, of course, from the law school at Georgetown. And this is particularly important for those that need to or desire to take the New York bar, to be able to know that there's that space within the specializations and the degree requirements for you to take courses outside of health law, but that are still law courses for your own career. US trained lawyers are required to complete 24 credits, which must include the 16 specialization health credits. There's a mandatory 2-credit survey global health law course that's offered in the fall. The goal of this particular course is to build cohort. So because there's some students that end up going to Geneva, or some students that may never spend time with each other because everybody's taking different courses depending on their area of interest, this is the one course that every person admitted into the program gets to come together and really understand what is the landscape of the different areas of global health law that you might be interested in pursuing. So it is a survey course, which means you're not going to do a deep dive, but it does help you get a sense and an introduction into the different areas and subject matter expertise for the wide array of global health courses. For the LL.M in Global Health Law and International Governance, that's the Geneva program. For the Georgetown Law portion of study, students must complete a total of 12 credits, which includes 8 specialization courses in health law. And then when you get to the Graduate Institute in Geneva, you can complete 24 specialization credits. Some of the different courses that you can take are listed here. So you can see that it's very wide ranging. If you want to be able to link terrorism, international law, and health, there can be a link there for you. If you want to look at issues of treaty making and how that affects global health governance, there's a course there as well. You can take the New York bar, but usually what we do advise students to do that want to take the New York bar as they're pursuing this LL.M for international students, we advise you to do the summer experience, because really the course load becomes particularly heavy for you if you don't do summer experience, and you may be completely overwhelmed during the academic year. So some of the courses that you can take, again, that are outside of the health specialization, if you take some of the courses during summer experience and then tag on a few during your academic year, you can fit in a few of these courses, given that there's room within the credit requirements where you can fit in courses that are not health law specializations. In this particular program, our goal is not just to give you an academic grounding in health law, but also to prepare you and support you in your professional development even before you graduate. So the moment you come to Georgetown Law, and particularly within the health law programs. We are really focused on connecting you, on helping you to network and gain the other skills, soft skills, networking skills that you need to succeed once you have your degree. Because your degree can only go so far, but we know and understand that there are skills that you need to be able to penetrate the job market. So we have a very what can I say, tailored professional development opportunities that we offer our students. We have speed networking events where we invite industry leaders, PAHO, WHO, people that work in those spaces to be able to come and speak and connect with students. And it gives you sort of an opportunity to test your own interviewing skills. It gives you an opportunity to network and make a good impression, something that we hope will be useful for you as you're looking for a job. And this is one of the most recent ones that we had, where our students, the room is set up in this way, their name cards, and you circulate in the room as you would with maybe speed networking when you're dating, and you go around and talk to all the potential employers. One of the special things as well about the Health Law program is its deep relationship with the O'Neill Institute. The O'Neill Institute was created in 2007 to respond to the need for innovative solutions to the most pressing global health concerns. It generates important research that influences legal and policy reform. Many of the faculty that will teach most of the health law courses that you find available at Georgetown are from the O'Neill Institute. So for example, this year we've been delighted to welcome our new faculty director, Michelle Goodwin, who some of you who are very much engaged or interested in the space of abortion rights and access and sexual reproductive health would know her influence. And so being able to take a class with someone like that, Professor Larry Gostin as well, who's well known as somewhat the godfather of global health law, teaches a course as well. So there are these opportunities for our students to really tap into O'Neill's expertise for their academic, but also when you're working as a research assistant, if you are able to get a position, you would be working with some of these experts to help them in their substantive research work, which is excellent experience for many of our students. These are some of the areas that if you were admitted, for example, as a research assistant, you would be supporting to do research for either health and human rights, addiction and public policy, global health innovation, or global health politics, policy and the law, and also infectious diseases. Again, these are some of the experts that teach, that have some affiliation to the O'Neill Institute. So Anand Grover, Danias Puras are past UN Special Rapporteurs on the right to health, and they teach courses and serve as resources for our students. Dr. Tlaleng Mofokeng is the current UN Special Rapporteur on the right to health, and she is also the co-chair of the Commission on Racism, Structural Discrimination, and Global Health. And so all of these people are available also as resources. I think this can be said Georgetown-wide. All the law professors are really, really keen to connect with students, really make time to speak with and get to know students. And it's exactly the same with these experts from O'Neill. For those that are interested as well, we do offer a mentorship program. So if you'd like to be mentored, we can connect you to some of these experts to mentor you and walk with you and help you to really, figure out yourself and shape your career and who you hope to be, and give you some wisdom, right, for you to be able to make the most of this program that we offer you. So I just want to give a sense of what our employment rates are post-graduation. So for foreign trained and US trained lawyers, we have high post-graduation employment rates of roughly 80%. And in the last 3 years, alumni have been employed at these particular places. Today, the alumnus who's going to speak to us is employed with the Centers for Disease Control, and can talk a little bit about her own journey and the extent to which the program really, supported her or helped her to get to where she is now post-graduation. But I think the emphasis I want to make here is whether you're an international student or a domestic student, there's a commitment here that a Georgetown law degree is high value and opens some good doors for you. These are some of our alumni. Rick Mehta, he currently runs a startup called Lactiga, previously worked at Pfizer Consumer Healthcare, Kathy Schatz, who's the legal representative at UNICEF, and then also colleagues working at Johnson & Johnson. So for the O'Neill experience, I'm just going to play for you guys a short video that shows some testimonials, and then we'll hear from our guest today, who is Eunice Mustafa, an alumnus.
We have world-class faculty at the O'Neill Institute. There's no institution in the world that even comes close to our level of expertise. We have people who are experts in health systems and the Affordable Care Act in the United States, leaders in addiction and dependency, pandemic preparedness, from HIV/AIDS to polio, monkeypox.
One of the best things about the Health Law LL.M program is the ability to work with colleagues at the O'Neill Institute. Myself, I have research assistants who are students coming on every year. There's fellowship opportunities, there's seminars and events. As a student coming to Georgetown's LL.M program, I think you could expect a lot of engagement, both from your professors and your peers.
Because of the international nature of the courses that Georgetown offers, there are students from all over the world, and I felt like I wanted to be part of that community.
You have faculty that are practicing with the DOJ, you have faculty that are practicing with the WTO.
For me, particularly different than other programs that maybe other schools had, it was the combination of the domestic courses with the international courses.
Students after the LL.M programs have a wide range of professional opportunities to practice global health law, but also to support those populations that have been historically disadvantaged in access to health.
I used the LL.M to really help to expand my understanding of the regulatory frameworks in different countries, to really understand what drives decision-making from a legal context for access to healthcare, access to medicines, and many of the drivers that affect our healthcare systems globally.
The knowledge I gather here is all geared towards making a change in society, making a change in the community, but having some level of impact on the life of people who are having difficulties realizing the right to health.
I think one of the biggest benefits of the health law program at Georgetown is the opportunities outside of the classroom. I think it's really important to the footsteps from the Capitol, footsteps from the White House, and footsteps from the Supreme Court, frankly.
Learning the law where the law is made is truly unique.
I work full-time, so this LL.M was a really unique opportunity to get learning in the classroom while also experiential learning at my job.
There's no other university that offers this type of academics and scholarship right in the heart of our nation's capital here in the United States.
We founded the O'Neill Institute to use world-class scholarship to really improve the health, the lives, the safety, the security of everyone in the world, and it's exceeded all of our expectations. It's our goal to train the next generation of leaders, to pass the baton to you, to lead, to make a difference in the world.
If you care at all about doing health policy work at the highest level, you should be at the best, which is undoubtedly Georgetown's LL.M program.
Okay. I hope while you were watching that video, you could see yourself here at Georgetown. Here are some photos just kind of giving a sense of student life. We force you all to take a photo shoot when you arrive, but it's good for the memories because you get to remember your cohort. We also have an annual hike and brunch where we bring our students together with the co-faculty directors. We go and take a hike somewhere, come back together, have some food, take some pictures. You know, cohort building and that balanced academic life is really, really important to us. And it's what we offer, you know, really living the what is it to be healthy approach of the LL.M program. And this is students interacting with the UN Special Rapporteur on the Right to Health when she came to campus to give a talk about her work. Eunice can talk a bit more about that. She is the fourth from on the left side, well, my left, I don't know which side that is of you guys. And of course, they also got to hang out and go to concerts and do things together as a cohort. And then this is them meeting and connecting with Professor Gostin and then celebrating a holiday party just for the LLM students. So yeah, just to give you a sense of the balance. And so now I'm going to hand over to Eunice so she can talk in her own words about the program and what it did for her.
Good morning, and thank you so much. It feels like it was just yesterday. Time went by so fast. Well, when I think about the LLM at Georgetown, I can proudly say it was one of the best decisions I ever made. I was born and raised in Sierra Leone in West Africa, a country that has a history of being burdened with public health concerns, including maternal mortality, malaria, typhoid, sickle cell, and even Ebola. When I was in Sierra Leone, I also worked as a consultant, hosting safe spaces across the country focused on sexual and reproductive health and rights. And I also use stories in order to speak on societal issues. So I had a community work, I had a storytelling background, but something was still missing in terms of responding to the problems in society. That was when I decided to make a choice that changed my life forever by pursuing the LLM at Georgetown. The LLM for me was an opportunity to become more grounded by complementing my existing work experience and my lived experience through acquiring a technical training needed to address public health concerns in my country and in the African continent. One thing I would say about the LLM program is how holistic it is. You get the opportunity to learn about the United States for people like us that came from other countries. And at the same time, you get the opportunity to learn about the global atmosphere or the global landscape. And also what is interesting about this LLM program is the opportunity to add an additional certificate in addition to your LLM, as in you get your LLM degree, and if you want to pursue a certificate during the same process, you get to pursue a certificate. And for people like us that like learning new things and also acquiring more educational capacity building qualifications, the LLM is just the perfect opportunity. During my time at Georgetown, I remember one of the first conversations that I had with Professor Bosha was that I am not too good at legal and scholarly writing, and I think I need to improve on that specific part. And she was like, oh, don't worry, we have the resources. And she immediately introduced me to the legal English department. And throughout my journey at Georgetown, the legal English professors supported me in terms of guiding me in writing my papers, providing feedback on what I could do better. And at the end of the day, I moved from being worried about my writing skills, my legal and technical writing skills, even though I was a creative writer and I was a lawyer, I knew legalese, but this was about doing scholarly writing, and they moved me from that to actually refining my scholarly writing skills. And I could graduate with a distinction, which I consider a huge success story, thinking about where I came from. And also during my time at Georgetown, I had the opportunity to become a research assistant. And as a research assistant, they did not expect perfection from me. Instead, it was an opportunity to actually hone my research skills and also an opportunity to know what was happening out there. Every research topic that was assigned to me as a research assistant actually broadened my horizon as I came across topics that I had never heard of before. And the LLM was not just about hard skills, it was also about soft skills. When I used to hear about networking, I knew it was all about knowing people, but I did not know about the dynamics in terms of how to make the most of networking opportunities and how to approach people in a very productive way. And the program did not just focus on empowering us with our LLM and just sending us out into the world. No, we had the opportunity to refine our networking skills, and there were also opportunities to actually meet people that were instrumental to our career journeys. And in terms of the context, in terms of the people that participated in the LLM program, we had people from Asia, people from Africa, Latin America, and it was really huge for me as I could interact with people from different parts of the world and also to move beyond my comfort zone. I knew how to interact with Sierra Leoneans, I knew how to interact with West Africans, but there I was having to interact with people from other parts of the world that I had no idea of how to interact with them. And my previous experience with some of them had been to just watch movies. Oh, these people are from India. Oh, these people are from Latin America. But at Georgetown, it was about physical interactions, and those interactions made me learn more about their cultures and also made me shape my human interactions, preparing me for a career of working with people from different backgrounds. I pursued a certificate in international human rights law, and in addition to my national and global health law LLM, and having those two things together sets me up for success. So now I can say, oh, I have my LLM in international, I have my LLM, sorry, in national and global health law. And at the same time, I have a training in international human rights law, giving me job options. If I want to apply for health law jobs, I can. If I want to apply for international human rights jobs, I also can, because I had those two qualifications, those two majors at Georgetown. After the graduation, I thought it was all over and I had lost access to all the resources that I had at Georgetown, but that was not the case. Even if I reach out to the director of capacity building, Professor Bosha, today to ask her any question or to navigate any barrier, she is available to respond to my inquiries, even though she's busy with current students. And that is very good. So it was more than a job for her, and it was more than just taking students to an LLM program. It was more of a life journey, a lifetime of investment in ensuring that people had all the skills that they needed, or they had all the guidance that they needed to actually become successful in the world. My best experiences included meeting different experts, like people like Professor Gustin. You just get to hear about them if you read the news, or if you read scholarly papers or read his books, but at Georgetown, he moved beyond hearing about people like Professor Gustin and Professor Goodwin and others to actually interacting with them. So it's like enriching your network. And my other favorite experience was meeting the special rapporteur on the right to health. Dr. T is amazing. And looking at another African woman reaching that peak and interacting with her was actually inspiring. And anytime I feel so burdened by the challenges of life, I go to Twitter and I look at Dr. T and I remind myself that if Dr. T could make it that far, I can too.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Eunice. And where do you work now? Just as a final word.
So I currently work at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention as a senior public health law fellow. And that opportunity was also shared by Professor Bosha. I was kind of reluctant to apply as I was saying, oh, I'm a foreigner. The competition is too high. And she was like, no, you have a degree from Georgetown and you have been trained to the extent that you can be able to perform in that space, irrespective of where you're coming from. I applied as a summer fellow, and within months, my position was changed to a senior public health law fellow. So thank you very
Wonderful.
much.
Yes, congratulations. And I think I really like the last thing that Eunice said there, that with a Georgetown degree, you are incredibly competent. You have that 1 foot advantage, you have that opportunity. So we'll move now to give Jessica space to let us know, okay, how do I apply? This sounds great. I'm interested. How do I apply? So over to you, Jessica.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm also an alum. So I did the LL.M in 2019, but I did in international business and economic law. But hearing all about the health law, I wonder now if I should do another LL.M, maybe in health. This is an amazing opportunity. So now I work here on admissions. So if you have any questions about admissions, you can direct them to our office or directly to me. How to apply. It's pretty standard. We want the application form. We strongly advise you do through LSAC. The system, you send all your documents and they will do all the background checks. And then you just choose to apply to Georgetown and then submit your documents to us. You have to include your resume in English, personal statement. We advise to be between 2 and 3 pages, double spaced. There is no question to be answering your personal statement. You are free to write anything you wish. We always tended to say there is just one way to write it wrongly, is to not be very organized way. Your English is kind of like not very well written, not understandable. So just make sure you are on those lines and then you'll be fine. We need all your transcripts from law school, and if you have any other degrees, we also need those with translations. If you choose not apply through LSAC, then we also needed this registrar certification form. Although if you do through the LSAC, we don't need that form. We also ask 2 letters of recommendations, which can be from either a professor or a person who work with you. So we strongly recommend for you to choose wisely in terms of who really knows you, either professionally or as a student. We also require TOEFL or IELTS score. The TOEFL is 100. The score has to be 100, being 25 in each section, and IELTS is 7.5, being 6.5 in each section. There are a few waivers, waiver requests for TOEFL. So if you graduated in an English-speaking country, then you can request a waiver, and then we will get back to you probably with the waiver. So those are the documents you need to apply. And we have the deadline already started October 10th, the application period, and goes to through February 5th. So if you want to apply in the early action, you can also apply by November 15, and that means you probably get your answer by the end of the year. And then the scholarships are so the admissions process is a rolling basis admissions, so you get your answer as long like as much as soon as you admit, but then the scholarship will come afterwards. So after admission, the scholarship committee will get together and review your application, and then you'll hear from them regarding the scholarships. I think that's all from me here. If you have
There's a
any
question
questions.
in the chat, so maybe you
Okay.
can also click the chat. And for everyone else, we encourage you, if there are any questions, I know there's always a lot around application, please feel free to type in the chat.
So that's a great answer, question, actually. So you don't need to do through LSAC. If you are applying exclusively through to Georgetown, you can do it directly. The only thing you need extra will be the registrar certification form, and it's literally a one-page form. It's super easy to do it. So we recommend you to do through LSAC if you were thinking about other schools as well, but usually for the health law, people usually apply directly to us. I think that's yeah. Oh, okay. Some more questions here. Good. Thank you for so do you encourage older students? I think like Professor Boscha can say even more than me, but I strongly recommend, and I always say that there is no such age thing. We have like a variety of students from like a very young age to a very senior type of career wise. So when I did my LLM, I was already married with a kid. So I always tended to say that there is no right time. The right time is for you, what fits better with your personal life and professional life. So 40 plus, I mean, you are still super young. So yes. And we have many students that are 40 plus. So
Yeah, for the graduate, just to tag on to that, for the graduate program, we do get a wide range of ages as well. For this LLM program, we have people that are mid-career, people that have, progressed even more than mid-career, but are just looking to come and get this qualification. So absolutely all ages welcome. Like Jessica, when I did my very first LLM, I had 2 kids. And so, yeah, any age is welcome as long as you are ready.
Yes, that's why it's a perfect timing for you in your personal life and professional life. Because when we want to do something, we find time and the efforts to do it. So that's how it works. So we have another question here on who the registrar certificate is from. So the registrar certificate certification you get online on our website. So if you go to the application process, you have all the requirements and you have links to everything. So to the application form and to the registrar certification form. So if you click there, there is a part you have to fill out and then send it to your where you did your law school, and then they have it to fill out like 2 lines and send back to us. That's all you need. I think I answer. Do you? Another one here. Do you want a cover letter with the application or just a personal statement? So we don't require a cover letter. We prefer you be more, personal and write about you. It's extra information for us on the top of your transcript and resume that you already have. I think Professor Boscha can say why helps her as well in this telling us more about you and perhaps why you want to do an LLM, why you think now it's the important time for you to do it.
Yeah, I think whether it's a personal statement or a cover letter, whatever you're going to call it, the goal is for you to emphasize why you want to do the health law program. And I think that has to be really clear. So there is also a general LLM, and that is just, hey, I want to do an LLM. But when you're doing one of these specialized ones, it's very, very important to emphasize the reason why you've chosen this specialization, how you hope it will advance your career, to demonstrate your interest in the area. That's what really makes for a strong personal statement or cover letter.
Yes, that's really good to mention. I always say with the specialized courses, you have to either show you already have some work experience in the area or you are very committed to that area of law. So that's why we need to know more about you and why that LLM would be a good fit for you. Just clarifying, it's you can name it the document as you wish. It's just we call personal statement just because usually the cover letter is a much smaller, document within one page, and perhaps the personal statement will be up to 3 pages long, double spaced. It doesn't need to be 3 pages long, but it's just it can be up to.
Okay, we'll wait just a few more seconds in case people have any additional questions, but please feel free to email if if you have some questions that you forgot to ask, after the webinar, you'd think to yourself, oh, I wish I'd asked this. We're always happy to help you. I hope to see many of your applications coming through. The recording will be sent to you so that you have an opportunity to go over it again. So we'll wait and see. Just any more questions going once, going twice? Oh, here we go. The email address for the direct application. Jessica, is that
Yes, I can write down here.
Okay, so she'll put that in the chat.
Yes, you can easily find it on our website as well. But in case you want, it's law, LLM, admis at georgetown.edu. You can apply directly to us there. If you have any questions as well, you can email this email, and they will either directly to me or already answer to you directly. How competitive is that's for you, Professor Bush?
Yes, so I also wanted to say, if you're emailing me, you're probably just emailing to learn more about the program. But if you want to know about the application process, then you want to email the LLM admis question, like, hey, I'm trying to send my transcripts, but I don't know how to do it. That's more of their question. It is quite competitive to become a global health scholar. That's really attached to, that's our scholarships that we give out. So usually we take people who have quite a bit of experience, people who write very strong motivational statements, to really emphasize why the degree is important for them. So it is quite competitive. And if you want to be particularly competitive, a strong statement is going to be important. And also just really demonstrating and laying out your career, what you've done thus far in health law, and how you hope that this program will help you to advance more. None of your citizenship is going to affect your application to the Geneva program. Jessica, do you want to add anything?
No, for us in the application process, it won't really matter. It matters where you did your law school. So that will be your citizenship will be based on your where you attended law school. So if you attended here in the US, you'll be considered American for our purposes, and otherwise Polish.
Okay, we'll wait again to see if there's any more questions that come up at this point. Okay, seeing none, thank you so much for joining us. We hope to see a lot of your applications come through. Thank you for your time and for your questions and your engagement. As I said, the recording will be emailed to you all. Please feel free to email me for information about the program itself and to email LLM@MIS if you have very specific questions about the application process or any documents that you need to submit. Okay, and so I'll hand over back to our admin. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.